We are in the D'Ambrosia Gelateria.
Why are we here?
And we're here because on the very right side of the historical and the modern photo, you will see the doorway to this gelateria, current gelateria. So we decided to come here and record the interview.
I think there was a tailor shop near there anyway, in the historical photo.
I think it was a tailor shop.
I researched that tailor, but we won't go into his life, which was fine. He survived here a long time. And, well, we want to first of all say that Peterson, the photographer, took another shot this day, and it puts this one into context. And he went down the street a couple of blocks and shot, instead of southwest, he shot northwest. And so you can see, for instance, the tower of the City Hall in the distance,
right,
which was behind him in the shot. That's the principal feature of this week. We use this opportunity kind of to review the centennial of the 1916 Great Snow, to review the number of times that we've had Great Snow pictures in the blog, and it turns out that we developed a kind of our own cliche. That is, we went back and used the big snow at least a dozen times. There's
right.
Some that I'm sure that we used I just couldn't find because of all the clippings that I haven't got organized. The Peterson shots, we've seen two of them. Now, the first shot we did of any sort of the 1916 snow was, of course, of its biggest story. That was the collapse of the Great Dome above the St. James Cathedral on First Hill. And we're not going to dwell on that, because what are we going to do, Gene? Why are we not dwelling?
Well, we figure it's going to be 3 or 4 weeks from now, but we're actually doing a special snow feature on the collapse of the dome. And we won't say much more except that
it's damn exciting.
It's pretty exciting.
And your story of climbing the dome, it's a good story.
It is a good story.
So stay tuned. Okay, so we'll move on. That was the first. We're just going to review briefly a few of these 1916 snow stories. So that was the first one. You did several others since you've come on and started doing this photography about 10 years ago. Why don't we review some of those that you've done before we go back to the chronology of the other ones?
In general, whenever it would snow in Seattle, I would run out with a handful of pictures and try to get to the snow shot.
But we're just doing the 1916. So know ye that he's done a lot of snow shots because he loves to run in the snow. He's like a child. You show him a little snow and he likes to get out there. He doesn't do it barefoot, but he does run in his shoes, and he still has a good deal of balance.
Well, it's not in any particular order, but the first one we're showing here is the 1916 Green Lake Freeze, in which hundreds, if not thousands, of skaters went out on the lake and skated happily across the lake. And of course, this was maybe, I think I took this shot 8 years ago.
Right, in line with our doing the book.
In line with our doing the book, and it was a very cold day, but Green Lake didn't come close to freezing.
Yeah. One thing about this picture, which I wanted to mention, is the skating on the ice was done in late January because the snow started to fall on the 31st, and seriously. And then the first 2 days in February built up to nearly 3 feet of snow. Right. So there wasn't really much skating on the lake after that.
Ooh, and I think this is revelatory, if only because it shows you how boring is our modern existence, at least looking down from Second and Pike.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at Clemmer Theater. This picture, I know that James Clemmer, who was one of the real pioneers of the sort of big movie theater in the United States, especially in Seattle, he went out and took at least 2 pictures during the big snow, and this may very well be one of them. I know certainly he did another one, which we'll see later, but this one, which has his theater in it, seems to be a good chance of being his.
I went down there on an evening in the middle of our last big snow, which was in 2012, and did a repeat. You can see that it's a pretty barren comparison because there's just a lot of empty buildings without a lot of signage, and it's
And yet there's some snow.
there's snow, and there's a handful
You
of
were out
people
there in it.
headed for the market at 9
About
o'clock.
this
at night.
much.
Yeah. It wasn't very much, but it was enough to make traffic stall. There weren't too many cars on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a marvel! And during that same. In 2012, it snowed, and I ran around downtown and shot a whole series of pictures to repeat these repeats from 1916. And one of them is a couple of trolley cars looking down.
4 of them, Gene, 4.
Yeah, I mean the pictures. There's a couple pictures of trolley cars.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. This is looking south from near Pike Street again.
Yeah, but it's not on Second anymore, is it?
4th.
Yeah.
Wonder if Clemmer came up here and shot too. Huh, okay.
There is some more
Same trolleys looking
the opposite direction.
This is sort of repeats the notion of Peterson taking this shot and the one down away. You know, he went and got 2 shots in the same subject from 2 different points of view.
Look at those piles of snow.
All right. If we got a chance, maybe you'll show the picture with a snow pile and somebody's putting on top of it Pike's Peak. Maybe at the end. If we've got room. This damn uncomfortable, Gene.
I'm sorry. You want to move to a more comfy
we'll
chair?
stay here. I'll survive.
It might make you push through quicker. Just the discomfort level.
Tricky. I think he planned it. He's always looking at ways to keep me from being my verbose self.
Paul is sitting on an extraordinarily uncomfortable stool, which may once have been used as a torture device in the late Middle Ages. Thou shalt sit on that stool for the next 14
I hope the owners didn't hear that.
Well, this is meant for hipsters, not for oldsters.
Right.
Okay. Well, this is a marvelous shot on the campus, and I remember it because it was one of the very first pictures that I took for you in about 2000.
No, it was for us, Gene.
It was for us.
This is a book we did together called Washington Then and Now.
Huh.
Right? Lovely thing. Notice that in your now you get the observatory, which in the historical shot is hidden behind those beautifully draped trees draped with snow with their branches, falling to the earth, maybe kneeling to the earth in prayer for such a beautiful snow.
You're becoming quite pious.
I'm sitting up here in a pulpit.
Does snow bring that? I think doesn't it bring something out?
It brings out the reverend and all of it.
I think it does.
Reverence,
Oh, and I also went down that same February of 2012 and reshot it. This marvelous picture of the Coliseum Theater with snow.
Yeah, that's got a marvelous history. We'll put this particular story on the blog. You can read the story, like for most of these, as a clipping at the end of the blog.
Let's go forward. All right. Oh, and here, right in front of the Carnegie Library.
Yeah, Carnegie Library, right?
Yes.
How do you pronounce Carnegie?
Well, you're dripping, Paul. You got.
I can't help it. I got this armor on me. It's called human male beard.
I understand, but
it hides me.
You're spurting. There we go.
Can't see much of me now.
No, we can't. All right. So, Carnegie or Carnegie Steps?
Which is it?
I don't know. I hear people, in the library, they say Carnegie.
Carnegie it is. Okay, let's go.
Was he Scottish?
Yeah, I think he was Scottish.
Well, then you'd say Carnegie.
All right, let's do it. Let me try that. Carnegie.
That's good.
Thank you.
All right, so here we go.
So you did the contemporary shot.
I did the contemporary shot of that, looking in the same location.
With the contemporary.
Yeah.
And then the next one you didn't do, but it was a now and then, one of the dozen or so for the 1916 snow. And here we see again the front of the library with the beautiful mansion across Spring Street on the other side. This is on 4th Avenue.
That's right. There's that moment when snow first falls, when you feel like the world is made anew, and then there's the next day.
That's the pulpit part of it.
So this is where the snow turns to mush.
Yeah.
And this poor guy shoveling in the foreground.
Yeah, this is another Clemmer shot, James Clemmer shot this. That is the the guy who ran the theaters, the
Right.
big theaters
Right.
downtown.
Oh, and here we are on the waterfront.
This is a marvelous photograph, isn't it?
That's marvelous.
Well, this is taken from the Marion Street overpass, looking north on over Railroad Avenue. And for instance, this is the Grand Trunk Dock on the left, and next to it is the fire station.
Now look
This
at
is
those.
another shot, which I wrote an article on at another time. Same event, only about 20 yards apart.
It looks to me like they're carting snow up the Railroad Avenue.
You mean like somebody saying, okay, move that snow from there up to this lot over
Yeah,
there?
it's like a cool hand
No,
loop
it's another
exercise.
explanation for this. You know what it is.
Oh, they were taking that snow to the bay.
They were
just
dumping it in the
dropping
bay, right? I love this shot. This is the Montlake cut. What?
Say that again.
I better have some ice cream.
Then have your
God.
napkin ready, because it's really disgusting. It's up there again. It's there again.
I can't stop it.
There you go. All right. This is not only history. It's a lesson in hygiene. History and hygiene with Dorpat.
I'm going to wash when I get home. I'll use a spray on the kitchen sink. Open my mouth and go all around on my beard and everything. So I do that a few times a day just to stay clean.
That's very good.
Okay.
I guess I should say I'm proud of
Now
you.
look at the Cascade Mountains in the distance.
That's
The
marvelous.
Montlake Cut. This is taken from the north end of Capitol Hill. I think it's looking down Shelby Street. And so this is before they opened the Montlake Cut. They're getting ready to open it, but there's still dams there. And they're still lowering, or well, maybe not, but they're going to carve those away, and then you're going to have the canal. This is, again, early in 16. Well, it's during the snow, right? Unless I'm wrong. Nobody wrote on this thing that it was a 1916 snow. I'm assuming it was, because 1916 is when the canal would have been in that shape, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Let's go to Parrington Hall.
All right.
Look at that.
Here's
That's
another-
got to be the 16 snow.
Well, you know, but it was claimed by the guy who shared the photograph with me, who wrote a history of the University District. His name is Nielsen. That it was probably 1906, but I don't know of any snow that deep in 1906.
1906.
So I'm sticking with 1916. Looking across 15th and Parrington, this beautiful shot of the McGraw Street Timber Trestle in North Queen Anne
Yep.
was shared to me by a generous citizen long ago when I went to their back porch and took the
You know, this
picture.
is another one that I tried to repeat, but now the entire ravine is filled with trees,
Yeah.
and you can see nothing of the bridge,
Yeah.
maybe just a piece of
It's
that
not
house.
nearly as a pretty bridge. It's a concrete bridge.
Yeah.
Now, what was that for? Was that for the Now and Then book or what?
Well,
What
we were
you-
looking at it as a possible for
Okay.
the now and
All
then.
right. Very good. Well, you
this is
can't
part
see
of
this very much
trio.
on your tube, I suspect, or your. But this is a pan of Volunteer Park done again during the snow, and I know that there's some other shots of this. Go ahead there, and we're zooming in, so to speak, towards the pavilion. There's the pavilion, which was replaced by the Seattle Art Museum in the early 30s. Okay. And this one, we're near the end here, I think, of at least of the ones that appeared in the Times that we could find. This is looking north, although I said south in the newspaper because I have dyslexia, looking north from Virginia Street on First Avenue during the snow.
That's beautiful.
And then this is a rare Dorpat repeat, which I repeated then because this was taken before Gene started doing this. Okay, we are looking here up the alley north from Marion Street between 1st and 2nd. The Burke Building is on the right, and the hotel, what was the name of that hotel? Stewart Hotel is on the left.
Okay. Let's look at.
What's this?
Oh,
Well, you know what this is.
well, I
right?
know because it's written there, but I know it anyway. It's Yesler Way, looking down to Smith Tower.
Yeah, right. Okay. This I can't, I surely did this in the newspaper at some time, but I couldn't find it. This is at the bottom of the Queen Anne counterbalance.
Right. No, I recognize that as well.
Yeah.
We've taken counterbalance photos
Right.
for both the book and for the column. Oh, I love this photo. I
I
adore
thought we did
photo.
this too. I thought we
I've
did it
never
now
done
and then.
this.
We didn't, well, then I didn't do it. So we never used it. We can use it next year, Gene.
Yes, next year we'll use
With
it.
our apologies. But that's the West Seattle Ferry on Harbor Avenue in West Seattle. Go ahead.
Oh, and here's in front of the Liberty Theater.
Now this I know I did
I'm sure you
early
did.
on, and I cannot find it anywhere. I can't find a clipping on it.
I love that photo.
Yeah.
The Statue of Liberty in front of the Liberty Theater, right around the corner from the Pike Place Market. Oh, this is looking down Union and Ninth.
Yeah, right.
That big long view.
Looking
down.
from First Hill down to the Union. This is, of course, the freeway cuts right through there.
Right.
Those are the days for sleds.
And there we go.
Now, Gene, we did this. We know we did this because you were in it.
I was in it, and I stood there.
Gene posed for the now in this, and I can't find the repeat and the now and then that we did. It's in the paper somewhere. I just can't find it. This is looking down James Street with the Trinity Episcopal on the right and the
Smith
Tower on the left. Keep going. Isn't this lovely? Here we are. There are actually other funny photos of the 1916 snow, but this is one of the better ones.
Pikes Peak.
There's some with dummies that are built up and put in the snow as if they're stuck in the snow.
Oh, we have a mushroom involved.
Oh boy, that
mushroom Kinnear, isn't it?
Kinnear Park, yes, right. Now, 3rd Avenue, looking north from Cherry Street. I've often considered using this one, but we haven't used it, have we?
No, we haven't.
And
But it's a beauty. Look at
that's
that.
a beauty. Yeah,
Well, that's it for.
that'll do it. Okay.
That'll do it. So from the D'Ambrosia Gelateria,
Yeah.
Paul, you can finish your
Okay. Do you want
Italian
to take a pan
gelato.
on the inside? Can you do that?
Sure.
Turn
I
the
can
camera.
do that.
All right. Well, here's to the gelato for hosting us. Thanks for this, although we paid for it. We don't do things like that. We always pay, right, Gene?
We always pay our way. That's right. Okay. How does it taste? How is it?
It's delicious. It really is. Ladies, thank you very much.